Okay. Hi, so good evening to all of you and welcome to JTC India YouTube live classes, that is JDBC classes. So in the last class we were talking about the different types of statement, what is the different types of statements are and how we are going to use these statements. Okay, so in the last class I have given you a basic introduction related to the different types of statements, and in that the most important one was what was the statement. That also already I have explained you that what exactly statement is. Fine. Now once again I am coming to this point here, that what is the statement. So as already I have told you, already we have discussed here that statement what we have is an interface. Statement is the interface here. It is a interface here. Just I am representing here interface with the I representation. I am representing interface here, something with the I representation. So that is what we are calling it as an statement, something like this here, right? Now what we are doing with the help of statement, that is again a important thing which you should understand. So what we were doing is, see, if this is your database, if this particular one is your database, we have this database, this is your something called as the database. Here is your database, what we have. Fine, it is. Now in this database I need to submit the what I have to submit the query to the database. I must have to submit the query to the database. So from here, from your Java program, from this Java program, I need to submit the query to the database. Here I need to submit the query to the database. So this particular thing is going to be done with the help of statement st type of object, right? It is a statement type of object. We are going to do this. Fine. So here, before submitting the query to the database, we just need to understand that how we are going to create the statement type of object, just so that we can use this statement type of object here. So first thing is that here if I'll write here some of the basic things which you can understand here. So what is that basic things which I am writing here, which you are going to understand in this? The basic point is here. See, first is you are writing here something con, which is connection of con, is equal to, you are writing what is that now? Driver manager dot get connection. You are writing it's a get connection. You are writing in this particular get connection, you are writing something called as an URL, username, as well as the something called as the password. Here you are writing, and with the help of that you are getting this statement object. You are getting here. Is that okay? You are getting here the statement object with the help of driver manager. Sorry, you are getting connection object, connection type of object with the help of driver manager here. Fine. When you are getting the object of which type of object now? The object of type connection with the help of driver manager. Again, this point you need to understand. So later on what you are going to do here, you are writing connection dot, which means that you are using this connection type of object in order to create the object of type statement. So con dot, you are writing here create statement. One method is there that you are using here, con dot create statement, one method which you are using into this. Is it okay? Well, when you are using con dot create statement method, so this gives you the exactly the statement type of object it is giving here. So one thing what we have to understand here, and from this code what we can come to know, or what we can get one point which is very clear to you all, is that Is it only the way, or is it only the method, that is create statement method, by using which we can create the statement type of object? See, first of all, in order to create the statement type of object, there are again different ways as well as the different techniques. By using this same method, we can create the object of type statement. But again, when we will understand this, so in that there is one very specific thing what you have to understand here. See that now. So in order to create the statement object, see here, in order to create the statement type of object, one you have written con dot create statement, that you can write it here. Well, but in that also remember one point, that here in the create statement I have not passed any parameter. There is no parameter at all. In this, there is no parameter inside this. We have not written any kind of any sort of parameter here. Fine, it is okay. When I have not written any kind of parameter, so second method is what here, that we are writing here con dot, what we are writing, that is the con dot create statement, create statement. One another method I am writing con dot create statement, which is another method I am trying to write here. And what is this method is going to do? See here first. In this method I am writing the parameter which is there int, as well as the int, two int and int parameters we are having here. These two parameters we are having. One is this particular int and second one is again this int what we have here, right? So con dot create statement method, in these two parameters, well, we have written into this, these two parameters we have written. These two are the parameter which we have passed. What is these two parameters? We will come to this point, and we will come to these points. What is this int and int parameter is, that we will be understanding it later on, that what exactly the use of these parameters are. Fine. Now again, another one more method is that con dot means here is the create statement method inside this int, well, int, and again that is the int I can write here. So what is generally parameters what you have passed here? Three parameters as such I have passed here in this. So see here, by using these three methods, that is create statement, create statement, create statement, right? Method name is same, but yes, the parameter in all these three are the different types. The parameter in these three are the different parameters are there. One is without any parameter, there is no parameter in that first case. Second one, now there is int and int parameter, fine. And third one, there are three int parameters. So wait a minute, that in all the cases, if you understand here, in all the cases here also statement object, here also statement object. So if you just notice one thing here, then in all these three cases, either you are using any of the method, any of the parameter you are using, it is exactly returning what it is returning? Statement it is returning. What exactly it is returning? That is the statement it is returning. Fine, it is. So the question is now that in order to create this statement type of object, here, which one shall I use it? The create statement without any parameter I should use it, create statement with parameter I should use it, or which one I should be using here? That is one important thing, that is one again important point here, right? Or here the three parameters what I am passing here, that I should use it. And even so, what is the choices, what choices you are going to choose from here? So definitely you must be getting some benefit of using any one of these method parameters. And if you are going to get this some method parameters, then only you are going to choose any one of these methods over another one. Correct it is? So at present I'll come to all that point also, that what is this parameters are. So these parameters are constants. And I'll just tell you now itself that what is the benefit of writing these parameters over here. based on these parameters itself, the object what you are creating of a statement. So with the help of that, you will be creating the result set type of object also, right? A result set type object what you are getting. So the type of result set will be dependent on the type of parameter which you are using here. Again, let me explain once again. I'm just giving a quick revision. Quick revision is what? Understand it here. So see, if I have got, see, first thing, let me summarize it. Why we need statement? Okay, first is how we are going to get the statement object. We are going to get the statement type of object with the help of statement object. Fine. We are going to get the statement type of object with the help of connection object. Fine. Why we need statement object? Because with the help of statement object, we are going to submit query to the database. Is it okay? Again, let me repeat again. By the help of statement object, you are going to submit query to the database. Fine. Okay. Now here, whenever you are submitting the query, okay. First thing is that when you are creating this statement object, so we have three methods. What all these three methods we are having at present? Create statement without parameter, create statement with parameter, and create statement with three parameters, right? These all the three parameters what we have, these all three parameters what we are having at present here, these all three parameters what we are having at present in this, these parameters whatever we are having here, based on this you will be getting in further result set type of object. So that depends on this type of parameter, and these parameters are what? Some kind of constants which you will be using, which you will be or you are going to give some set of instructions to these methods that we need statement object, and with the help of statement object you will be creating again further things here. So first thing is that without understanding anything else, try and understand one thing, that with the help of statement or with the help of statement object here, with the help of statement object you are going to submit the query to the database, and that's the reason you are creating the statement object here, right? When you are creating statement objects, so you can create these statement objects in these three different ways, right? It is by whichever you choose it at present. At present I am not coming to the point that which one you are going to choose. It is your choice how and which one you wanted to use it inside this. So at present let's not talk about these two, because here only we will discuss what is the use of these two things are, what is the use of these two statements are, what is the use of these two parameters, concrete create statement methods. We'll be talking about later on. But at present what you can see here, that with the help of this statement object we are getting the statement type of object here. With the help of connection object we are getting the statement type object. Got it? Now if I wanted to submit to the database, what I want to submit to the database? Queries if I want to submit to the database. Fine. Let's say I am writing some query to the database. Here is the query is the database data. Here is the database what we have. So in this database we are going to submit some query to the database. Fine, it is now. When you are going to submit some query to the database, so for that again, now you see this three way you got how you are getting the statement object. Now another concept is what here, that to the database you can submit query with this help of statement object in the different ways. For different types of queries there are different types of methods which is available inside interface, and with the help of that you are going to submit this query to the database, and based on that what query you are submitting to the database, based on that you are going to get some result also. Fine, it is now. So here you are submitting some request, and then from here you are getting some result into this cases. Is it okay? So some request and some result. From where you are getting? From that particular database you are getting inside this. Is that okay? So some request you are making to the database, and based on that request you are getting some result. Okay, let's now give you one quick revision of, what is that quick revision of? That how we are going to submit query to the database. By which method of statement, which all different types of method you are using, of which one statement, by using which you are going to submit query to the database. Are you getting it? So let's see here. First thing is, again, now here I am just writing here itself. Here itself I am writing in this. The query what I am going to use here, now see, st. So inside the statement, these methods what I am using in order to submit query to the database, that methods are something like st. Which one now? Execute. First I am using here, and now see here. Here is the SQL query what you wanted to pass, that you will be passing through this method, means st.execute query whatever you are writing. So this query which is there will be submitted to the database. This query which is there will be submitted to the database into this case. Fine. Well, again in the next case here, after submitting the query, it is going to give some result again. It is going to give some result again here. So this result is going to give some Boolean value. This is going to return something called as the Boolean value. Fine. Now what is that Boolean value represents? Again I will be talking about later. The second one here, st.execute I am writing. What is that I am writing? Execute I am writing. And in this now execute query you are writing. Again you are passing some SQL query which again you are going to submit to the database. So this is SQL query, execute query whenever you are writing. This will return type of result set type of things it is going to return. What it is going to return? It is going to return something called as the result set kind of concepts it is going to result set RS which it is going to return here. What is result set? Again we will be talking about that later on. And now again when you are writing the another concept here, that st.execute update I want to write. What is that I want to write now? st.execute update I am writing, and here also some SQL query I wanted to pass here. Some SQL query I am passing, and this is returning to the type of int, integer type it is. Getting it? So this returns to the type of integer here. Fine. So these three different methods are there. Make it clear from here. See, in that also, in this statement also, many things are there that we will be discussing, but from here you should be clear with the following things. Number one point is what? That we need the statement object. For what we need the statement type of object? We need statement type of object in order to submit query to the database. Fine. So how that statement object we are going to get? That statement object we are going to get with the help of connection type of object, right? These all are the following three methods which I am using in order to create the statement type of object. That is also I think fine. Next one, that with the help of these statement type of object, now we are submitting queries to the database. Now depending on the query, what type of query you have, we will be choosing the methods, which method I wanted to use it out of all these three methods, and based on that, based on the query what you are submitting to the database, with the which type of method you are using of the statement, it returns some results also. Fine, it is something Boolean, some result set, and some integer it is returning, right? What is the meaning of Boolean? What is the meaning of result set? And what is the meaning of integer? That again we will be discussing just now into this. Fine, it is now? Okay. So in this, any one of you are getting any kind of questions, any doubt? If you have any questions, any doubt, you can please ask. Any questions to anyone? You are most welcome to ask any questions in this. Anyone is having any questions? No questions? Well, guys, see, you should be understanding all these points very clearly, and these all are a very, very important point. And in initial classes itself, I have explained how these internally APIs are communicating, right? It is. So if you will just watch the previous videos, that time you will come to know what is the internal processing and what is the internal flow of these all statement connections and all other sort of things. There I have explained it very clearly inside this. Is okay. So hope so none of you are having any questions, none of you are getting any kind of doubt into that. Even if you are getting any kind of doubt, any kind of questions you are getting, you are most welcome, you can ask any questions. Okay, so everything is audible to you, visible to you, everything is fine? Hope so. Okay, next now, if in general out of this, if you are getting any question, something like the question is what, where this create statement method is there. If I'll ask this question that where is this create statement method is available, if I'm asking a very simple question, where is this create statement method is available? So this create statement method is available inside the connection interface. Fine, it is. This create statement method is available inside connection interface. Is it okay? Next now, where is this execute query and execute update method is available? Where all these methods are available? Which method? Execute query and execute update. Where exactly these different methods are available in our program? Fine. So these all different methods are available inside the statement type of object or statement interface. Fine, it is. So this is available inside the statement interface. Now, what is the meaning of this return type? So depending on the type of query, what you are submitting with which of the specific methods, so these all are having, or these all methods are showing some kind of result after processing that query in its own different predefined formats. Fine, it is. Now that we will discuss again what is the meaning of all these things here. Now if in case any one of you are getting any questions till this, you can please ask. Now here, if I am saying something, what is that? I'll just remove it out here. The thing what I was explaining here, that in case, suppose, here I'll just write it more in a clear way. Here, one I am writing, what is that? Execute method I am writing. Here, SQL query you will be passing, and this is having the return type of Boolean. Fine, it is. This is first method. This is the first method which I am having. Second method is now here result set I am writing here. Result set in this case now execute update I am writing. So execute now, execute query I am writing. Inside this also some SQL you are passing this query to the database, and with the help of that you are going to get something. The third option again is the integer you are writing. Execute update. Here also some query you are going to pass, some SQL query you are going to pass. Now you see here, I'll write the examples also on the basis of all that, and that I will be again explaining to you. This is what we have this database. This is what the database we are having into this. Is it okay? Now when you have this database, when you are having these all different types of database, so see here, this method, first one we are using submit the query to the database, so it returns Boolean. If I will ask you if it is returning Boolean, so Boolean means what? It is going to return either true or false. Fine. So if it is returning true, understand it here. If it is returning true, and more important thing is that by using this execute method, you can submit any type of query to the database. You can submit any type of query to the database. Make it clear, and you all can note it down also. You all can at the same time parallelly you can make the note of all these things, that by using the execute method you can submit any query to the database. Okay. Now when you are submitting any query to the database, when you are submitting any type of query to the database, when you are submitting any type of, make it clear, when you are submitting any type of query, where? To the database. When you are submitting any sort of query, if you are submitting to the database, fine it is. So there are first two choices. The one, maybe the query is successfully working into the database, maybe whatever the query you are writing, that may work successfully or that may not work successfully. That is one thing. This query, whatever you are writing, may work successfully or may not work successfully. Okay, that is a different again. But yes, remember one point, that on the basis of the query what you are submitting to the database, whether it is successful or not, based on that, the return type of this method doesn't affect. The return type of this method will not be concerned or will not be the result of the query whether it is successful or not. That will not be talking about that. Okay. So then what is, when it is returning true and when it is returning false? So if the query what you are submitting to the database, the query whatever you are submitting to the database, if that query, suppose the query you have submitted, it is again coming back. So if the result what you have is there in form of some data, result is there in the form of data, which means like you write the select queries whenever you are writing. So if it comes in the form of data, so then internally it is giving the result set object, result set RS object it is giving, result set type of object internally it is giving. Fine. If it is giving the result set object, then this is going to give the true, it is going to give the true value. It is going to give what? True value. Is it okay? But at the same time now, if the query is even successful in this database, got it? The query even it is successful into the database, fine, and it is not giving some kind of record back, which means that maybe the type of query what you have written, it's something different type of query you have written. So in that case, this will be returning the false. Fine it is. So false here, it is a general convention. If you'll ask 100 people, out of that 80 members will reply, basis of the general or common sense, they will reply that if it is returning false, it means that query is unsuccessful. If it is returning true, it means it is successful. But it is not like that. We are not talking about that in this way. What is that exactly? Let's understand that if your query returns false, it means what? That query whatever you are writing here is successful here. It's successful here. But yes, it is directly not giving you the type of kind of result set object, and that's the reason here it is giving the false. If the query what you have written is kind of select query you have written, and if that particular kind of query is okay in this one, and that's the reason here now it is returning the true. So I think you are okay with the execute one. Are you okay with the execute query? Please reply me. If you have any doubt in this, you can please reply. Any questions in this first one? Okay, fine. Arman Malik, welcome. I think you are attending first. From long time you were on pending, why, right? Okay, you can inform to your other friends also, those who wants to attend. Okay, so in this anyone, any questions you are having? Okay, no questions, something like this. Fine. Okay, now let's talk about the another type of concept here. Let's talk about the another concept in this case here. What is that execute query method? Since in the case of execute query method, when you are submitting, let's say, so generally preferable to submit the select query. select query here. Here preferable to submit the select query with which help of which one? That is with the help of execute query method. So with the help of this, it is preferable to submit the select query. Whenever you are submitting the select query to the database, suppose you are submitting some select query to the database. If you are submitting some kind of select query to the database, understand it here. If you are writing here on what select query to the database, fine. So it is going to give some result. Here it is going to give some result, right? So if you will write the select query, if you write, so definitely it is going to give some database to you. Some result it is going to give back to you, fine. If it is giving some result, so this is the result set, and based on this you can again access these all things here. I will come to this result set topic again here, fine. I will be just writing one example, and based on that we will be discussing on all that sort of things, how we are going to utilize all that, how we are going to process all these things, fine. And similarly here the execute update method. What we have next? It's an execute update method. This execute update method, what we have is the execute update method. We are having the execute update method. Is it okay? Now when we talk about this particular kind of execute update method, so whatever query we are submitting to the database, whatever query we are submitting to the database, make it clear here. The query whatever you are submitting to the database, with which one? This query whatever you are writing. So due to this query, due to this particular query, how many total number of records got affected into the database? How many total number of records got affected into the database? It returns that only. So this integer number, whatever is available here, it returns, what it returns? That how many total number of records got affected into the database. Fine it is. So by this particular query, whatever you are writing into this. Okay. So in this now, do you have any questions? If you have any doubt, you can please ask. Now let's do one thing. Let's have a look on the different APIs, what we are getting here, what we are understanding here, where all these APIs are there, how these all different APIs are working, and what is the again process behind that different sort of APIs what we have. Is it okay? So let's have a look. Switch karo. Just have a look inside this, that what exactly we are going to do into this, what exactly we are going to process here inside this. The very important thing inside this is that we are having here, first as I said here, say I'll open one's notepad. In this I am writing here the I'll write here something called as the notepad into this. When I am writing this notepad, when I am writing something on this notepad, so let's have a look first. What is that? The very first thing is here, statement I am writing. We are writing here something called as the statement into this. Statement, first one I am writing here, okay. Well, after writing this statement here, let me increase the font. Just I am increasing the font in this one. So hope it is visible clearly. Statement. So as already I have told you that con dot create statement method. One is this con dot create statement method inside this inside this now int we are having, and one more I am having int con dot create statement method. Inside this also int, and int. This is the following things as such I am writing inside this. This is the following things as such I am writing here. Okay. This is returning what? Statement it is returning. It is returning to the type of statement here. It is returning into this. Fine. Okay. Well, so according to us, we are understanding this method CreateStatement is available. Where exactly it is available now? It is available inside the java.sql.statement. So let me open the command prompt here. I am opening here the command prompt inside this. And well, after opening this command prompt now, java.sql. Here you see, I am writing connection. I am writing. What is that I am writing now? Java.sql. Which one now I am writing? Connection I am writing here. You all can like these videos also, right? So java.sql. Something called as the connections as I have written inside this. Fine. Here you see that. This is the connection I have written here. Fine. So in this first, before understanding anything, see, this is the complete API. And if you are learning in this way, if you are learning all these things in this particular form, in this particular way, you will understand all these sort of things one by one, very clearly you will understand. So what is that, as I have told, first I have got here is that, what is that? First, you first go for this signature. What is this signature? Is public interface java.sql.connection. We are writing this is the connection interface we are trying to get it here. Fine. And it is extending. What it is extending? It is extending, one is the java.sql.wrapper, okay, and another one it is extending java.lang.AutoCloseable interface. It is extending AutoCloseable interface. It is extending here, right? So this signature, you should be very clear with this, what exactly, because see, when you are learning the programming, so in these particular things itself, many of the things which is coming under this itself, and if you are going through all these things properly, clearly, you will get to know many things again inside this here. So see here, I am just now explaining something to you inside this. First, see, if I'll talk about the connection, so connection is without any doubt, it is an interface, something, that sort of things what we are having. SQL is, connection is something called as the statement. That's what we are having here. Is it okay? Well, again in the next case here, that extends wrapper. So I will talk about the wrapper, but here for you, the so okay. So let me go through the wrapper also. So what is that wrapper is? Here I'll just open it also. So I'll write here Java P and something like this. SQL dot something called as the wrapper which I am writing inside this here. Fine. So see here, what is the, this is also some kind of interface what we have. So there are two methods what we have. The one method what we have is the unwrap we have, and the second one what we have is the is wrapper for, okay. So you just keep it into the mind. I will be explaining the what is the main use of unwrap or is wrapper for. I will be coming to that. But before that here, I'll get it here one more thing, Java. Okay, let me just go through this previous one here in the signature. There is one more interface. If you will see, the interface was, what was that interface? Java.lang.AutoCloseable. Now, if I'll ask you this question, everyone, that can you please tell me where exactly this one you have seen? Where exactly this Java dot or well Java P AutoCloseable interface, where have you seen this interface? Have you seen anywhere? See, if I'll ask you this, where have you seen this interface? This interface, can you please reply me in the chat box? You have seen this interface in the exception handling, and which is introduced from Java 7. And this is for the AutoCloseable interface, is for the that we can use this particular resource into the try with resource. What is the try with resource? Again, that concept is there from the JDK 1.7, and try with resource concept is introduced in the JDK 1.7, and again it is a different kinds of concept into that. Well, so here we have java.lang.autoCloseable interface. So one thing is that if I am using this particular resource now connection, I need not to close it explicitly, and I can use this connection interface as in the part of try with resource parameter. I can use all these things at the try with resource parameter here. So well, now we have one method. This is what the method we are having, that is called as java.sql.statement, and that is the method name is what we have is the CreateStatement method we are having. This is the CreateStatement method we have. So see, notice that here one query which I am taking here for this one, the CreateStatement, here remember it, the first one, here is the complete signature I am writing. So see here is there any parameter, is it available? Are you able to see this? No parameters are available. So that's the first thing which I was writing here. Well, again in the next case here, well, I'll write the next one here. What is the next one I am writing here? See that. So one is the CreateStatement I am writing, the very first one. Second one, what is that I'll be writing here inside this is the one more method here we have. If you just notice in the last one, see this method has been overloaded inside this class, and well, what we are able to see here is this java.abstract SQL statement, CreateStatement, and this is also having the two parameters which is an int and int, and it throws something called as the java.sql exception it is throwing in this here. Well, again with the next scenario here, let's come for the third one, that which was having the 3 consecutive parameters here, and we will just have a look on that parameter where exactly it is. So CreateStatement, well, we have just found it here. This is the CreateStatement we have, and now let's write this CreateStatement one here. What we have now? These 3 method parameters we are having here. This is what exactly I was talking about, right? Now like that, other statements are also there, and that all statements, type of statements, object creation will be done from this connection one itself, and like that other methods are also there. So I'll be coming to all the other methods here. Now when I'm getting this statement type of object, so let me show you here that if I'll talking about the connection, so as in the similar way itself, there is another method called as, another interface called as java.sql. Here is the, what is next? Tell me, what is the next? Statement. We have the statement here. Well, sorry. So when we are having this statement one, inside this, see here are number of methods we are getting it inside this here, right? And when I am talking about this number of methods, so see, whenever you are learning Java or any programming language, in most of the programming languages, you first need to explore the APIs. If you are not exploring the API, your knowledge is not complete. If you are properly exploring the API one by one, you are keeping all these things into the practice, you are keep on writing the programs by using that corresponding APIs, tremendous things which you are going to do into that. But yes, at the same time, you are just remembering few concepts and you are going on the basis of that. For you, it is again a difficult thing again. So let me see here one more thing. See what I have shown you here, that we have one method called as execute query. Execute query, one method as such I am having here, right? See, with the help of statement type of object we can submit query to the database. Okay. When I am submitting these queries to the database with the help of statement objects, so now here you see inside the statement there are few methods which is available. The first method was which one now? You just have a look. The very first method is this one. What is that now? See, again I am saying it is having execute query is having the return type as an result set. So with the help of this, you are always and always trying to submit the query, something called as the select queries which you are going to submit, and if you submit the select query, with the help of that it is going to get some record, and that will be there in the form of result set. So what exactly result set is and all other sort of things we will be definitely talking about in the next class or in the further classes when the topic is going to come. The second method what I was talking about is the execute update. You just get it here. See every sort of things, anything I am not telling from my side, everything is existing in that corresponding API, and from there itself I am discussing all these sort of things. So well you can get it from here. Now you see what we have got now. We have here the public abstract int execute update SQL, and this is also, so this is again, what is the return type of this? Return type of this is the integer. Just now I have explained about that, what is exactly the return type of this one. Well, again in the third case here, the another method what I was talking about here is what is that now? Execute query execute update, and one simple we have called as the execute. You just need to find out this method. Well, we have this method again inside this, and let's go through this one. So here again I am having this particular method. Did you got my point? Okay, so if we have this sort of methods, this sort of things here available here inside this, and now see with the help of this itself we are submitting query to the database. So I have shown you where exactly these all different types of method and all these sort of things are available into the corresponding APIs, and relationship between these corresponding APIs already I have explained in the previous classes. You have the video links that again you can go through that video links, right? It is few of 1 or 2 videos which I have done the public also, but rest of the things is not there the public. That again you can go through that, you can see it, you can revise it. If any question comes, let me know in the comment box whatever questions you are getting. If you are getting any doubt in this, let me know in the comment box. Wait for the next class. In that I'll be again using all this, and I'm going it very slowly, all these things, so that you should understand the complete concepts in a proper way. It should not be just like you keep on writing one simple programs and something like that. So let's understand first API properly, and then we will be writing again program. So hope it is now clear that from where, what and how we are using this different sort of methods into this. Well, so hope it is now clear to you all. So any questions, anything from here, you can please ask. Anyone is getting any questions? No questions? Okay. Fine. So again, we will be discussing tomorrow the different types of statement features, what all the different types of statement features are there, and then about the callable statement, then about the, which one now, prepared statement. All the sort of things again we are going to discuss. So you are getting any kind of questions while watching these videos, write us in the comment box. If anything, any doubt comes, please let us know. We will be definitely replying back to you. So good night guys. Thank you for coming to the class. Thanks a lot.